Hey everybody, so I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Ashley just got another box in. Yep, she got another subscription box in and she's about to unbox it. Well, guess what? You're wrong. I thought I would try something a little bit different, and instead of an unboxing, we've got a book tag. And for my first official one, we're going to do the unpopular opinion book tag. So we're just going to dive right into it, and I'm going to tell you guys my very unpopular opinions on certain books or series within the reading world. So I don't even have these books anymore. I want to preface that I did once have these books. I have read all these books, but I have no desire whatsoever to have them again. And that is the Twilight series. Oh, I know you guys are all getting pitchforks and fire ready to burn my house down. But let me tell you a little bit, okay? So I love vampires and anything supernatural, and at the time I was reading a whole bunch of different vampire series. I was reading the True Blood series, which is actually the Sookie Stackhouse series. So I was reading her series at the time, and my cousin comes to me and goes, "You have to read these books. These are awesome books." So she gives me the Twilight one. So I check out the Twilight one, and I read it, and I'm like, meh, like, my problem with the Twilight one is the characters in it were so, like, fake. They weren't real enough so that I could relate to them, and I wanted to just throw the book away. But my cousin reassured me that they get better and better. So I was like, okay, fine, you know. So I picked up the next one. Eventually I did get to Breaking Dawn, and Breaking Dawn of that series is my, I don't want to say favorite, but it's my most tolerable. Like, I loved all the action and how everything was coming together and everything. So I feel like that one was probably my favorite of the series. But that is a popular series that I do not like. Sorry. Anyway, moving on to 2. I feel like that's kind of hard, because if it's popular, that means not everybody's gonna hate it. But anyway, so a book that I find that I actually like, and it was one of my favorite books for the longest time, was To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So this book I feel a lot of people don't like, and I don't know if it's because you have to read it in high school because it's classic, whatever, but I actually really enjoyed this book. This book I read in my freshman or sophomore year in high school, and I got really into it and I really liked it. So I feel like To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, that's one that people don't necessarily like, and I actually do. A love triangle where the main character ends up with somebody that you didn't want them to originally end up with. So this one, not too many books or book series have this happen, because I feel like I pick or I attach onto the person that the main character will eventually end up with fairly well. But I feel like one that I didn't like, which is actually kind of funny because it's from the series I don't like, but the only time that I ever really disagreed was with Bella and Jacob.
So I feel like Bella should have been with Jacob, but I see why Stephanie Meyer wrote it the other way. I just feel like I like Jacob more and Bella should have been with him. So there's that, yeah.
I mean, if you want to go to the extreme, Harlequin, yeah, those books never interest me, and I never even look at those sections. I'm not really into the romance of books. I like, you know, the action and the fantasy and the new worlds and lives and stuff like that. I would have to say, sorry guys, Tris. Yeah, I'm not going to say 4, I love 4. Tris. So, Tris in this series drives me crazy, and I do not like her at all. Yeah. I don't know, some people think she's awesome. I think she's boring, and yeah. And this doesn't mean that I'm not going to get into them eventually. It just means at this time, I don't gravitate towards their books. I don't pick up their books, which is funny because I have some of their books. But, Stephen King. So I know people are probably freaking out, whatever. I know that a lot of things with Stephen King are amazing and that he's a great author. Yes, I can totally respect him as an author, but he pops out way too many books for me to continually be a fan because I feel like I'll just never keep up with his books. Another one is Nicholas Sparks. Again, I have one of his books, whatever. I actually have 2 of his books. I've actually read this book, A Walk to Remember, and I can see why people like Nicholas Sparks, but I feel like right now, at least, his books are just so overrated because they're being made into movies. Like, every one of his books is like being made into movies lately, and it drives me crazy because I feel like some books just need to stay books. You know, they need to just stay within the premise of your imagination. Right now, I've been reading a lot of YA books, so young adult books, and I'm really tired of love triangles. They all have love triangles or jaded love or, you know, some conflicted love, and I'm so tired of seeing it because it's not all about love. And especially as a young adult, you know, most kids that are reading that are like teenagers, and I don't know, maybe it's important to teenagers nowadays, but I just feel like there's so many other things that could be focused on that love triangles, I'm just getting so sick of them. And so I tend to stay away from books that I know have love triangles in them because it's just annoying. Don't hate me, but The Maze Runner. Yeah. I have tried to read this. I've got, I don't even know if the bookmark's not even in there anymore. So I've tried to read it a few times. I've got probably about 100 pages in, and I just can't finish it. So that one, I actually have a lot of books that have been made into movies. I haven't always seen all of the movies, but I feel like the Princess Diaries, while the book was cute and gave you a little bit more depth, I really enjoy the Princess Diaries movies. That's one that I would probably think it wasn't necessarily like better than the book, but I just prefer watching that movie versus reading the book again. If you agree with me, awesome. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. That's just my opinion, and that's your opinion, and we're all entitled to our opinions. Happy reading, guys.